Yeah, boy.
What's the first thing wives do when they get home from cheating on their husbands? My wife came home from work one evening, wearing a diamond necklace. I asked her where she got it from. She told me her company had a raffle, and that she had won first prize. She asked me to draw her a bath, and that she would make dinner. A week or so later, she came home from work again, this time, wearing matching diamond earrings to go with her necklace. Again I asked her, where did she get her jewelry? Again she replied, the company had a raffle, and again I won first prize. Please, run me a bath, and I'll make dinner. Another week went by, this time, she came home from work, wearing a new ermine jacket. This time, I had caught on. Sarcastically, I said, don't tell me, your company had another raffle again, and again, you won first prize. I told her, you start making dinner, and I'll run your bath. That night after dinner, she went to take her bath. When she got into the tub, she realized that I had only filled the tub up with about 2 inches of water. She screamed and asked me why I only filled the tub with 2 inches of water. I replied, I don't want you to get your raffle ticket wet.
My husband treats me like a toy. My doctor told me to have no intercourse and heavy lifting since I'm 30 weeks pregnant now, and also I have some medical issues. I'm scheduled for a C-section in 3 weeks. If I don't follow these rules, it could cause bleeding and early labor. I've been trying to follow all the rules, but my husband is having a hard time with it. Every day, he asks if we can be physical, and every day I remind him that we can't. I'm not even in the mood for it, and I'm always tired, but he doesn't seem to get it. One day, he said that doctors sometimes make things seem worse than they are to protect themselves, and that maybe I don't really need a C-section. I ignored him because I knew my condition was serious, but despite warning him, we ended up going at it. Soon after, I started bleeding heavily. I was so scared and cried, thinking I might have to deliver our baby early. I called my doctor, who told me to come in right away. I cried the whole way to the doctor, fearing the worst. Thankfully, I wasn't in early labor. I had to admit that we had intercourse, but I got embarrassed when he gave me advice on domestic violence.
The ultimate revenge on my cheating wife and her lover. I thought my marriage was solid. My wife and I had been together for 6 years, and while we had our ups and downs, I believed we were happy. That all changed when I found out she had been cheating on me with one of her coworkers. The late nights at work and the constant texting suddenly made sense. I was crushed, but instead of confronting her right away, I decided to play it smart. I gathered evidence, texts, photos, everything. I hired a private investigator to follow her, and what he found confirmed my worst fears. Instead of blowing up, I quietly set my revenge in motion. First, I met with a divorce lawyer and prepared everything. Then, I waited. The day came when she announced she was going on a work trip with her lover. Little did she know, I had drained our joint accounts, leaving just enough for my escape. I also made sure to sell some of her prized possessions, ones she cherished more than our relationship. The final move? I sent all the evidence to her lover's wife. When she returned, the divorce papers were waiting on the kitchen counter, along with a note, hope he was worth it. She lost everything, her reputation at work, her standing in the community, and even her lover. As for me, I walked away clean, starting fresh while she dealt with the fallout of her betrayal. Ultimate revenge never felt so good.
Lied to my husband about cheating on him. I married my husband 6 years ago. 2 years in, just after our daughter was born, he cheated on me with a high school friend. He said it was a one-time mistake, and I foolishly forgave him. A year later, we had our first son, and I found out he'd actually cheated on me with multiple women. I confronted him with the evidence, and he broke down crying. He begged me to forgive him again, and swore that he hadn't done anything since our son was born. Seeing him so broken and pathetic, I said I forgave him, but that was a lie. He's tried playing the perfect husband ever since, but deep down, I still resent him. All these years, I've wanted to make him feel what I felt. So the other day, after putting our kids to bed, I told him that I'd cheated on him. I never have, but I wanted to see his reaction. He started sobbing and asked how I could betray him like that. I told him he should forgive me like I forgave him, but he won't. He accused me of throwing away what he had built together, as if he hadn't done the same thing. He's been broken ever since. It's only fair that he suffers like I suffered.
Slept with my 17-year-old cousin at a family reunion. I never realized how hot my cousin was until now. I'm 21 years old and I'm currently in university. My campus is roughly a 2-hour drive away from my hometown, and because of my extensive education plan, I don't get to come home very often. Last month I was able to come home for a big family reunion that we have been planning for months. I had not seen a lot of my distant relatives for a while, so it was nice to catch up with everybody. There was one person that stood out amongst the rest. My cousin, who I hadn't seen in 5 years, and to say the least she had changed drastically. I approached her and started a conversation, and within minutes I could tell that she was attempting to flirt with me. Unfortunately, my morals didn't kick in right away, and I continued to flirt with my 17-year-old cousin for the remainder of the night. I couldn't break the thought of how attractive she was, and when my mom brought up the idea for all of the cousins to catch up at my parents' house after the gathering, I was all for it. Upon arriving at my old house, it was prominent that my cousin wasn't planning on leaving my side. She followed me everywhere, and when I went to my room to debrief, she was right there with me. One thing led to another, and next thing I knew I was fully into my cousin. Am I in the wrong for this?